In the heart of a kingdom shrouded in ancient mystery, the throne room of Castle Argent echoed with a silence as heavy as the secrets it held. Majestic in its grandeur, the room was adorned with tapestries depicting battles and conquests, a testament to the kingdom's bloody history. At the center, the throne of blood stood, a haunting symbol of power, crafted from the weapons of fallen enemies and stained with the blood of 1,000 battles. King Alderic, a ruler of unwavering moral compass, gazed upon his forebears' legacy with a mix of reverence and reluctance. Sworn to uphold peace and justice, he had never unsheathed his sword in anger, a fact that earned him both respect and veiled disdain among his court. His thoughts were often troubled by the prophecy of the Red Oracle, which spoke of a time when the kingdom would stand on the brink of ruin, only to be saved by the throne's true master. One fateful night, a blood-curdling scream shattered the stillness of the castle. The king rushed to the source, only to find his most trusted advisor, Lord Emmerich, standing over the body of a slain messenger, his hands dripping with blood. The message was clear. The undead army of tyrant Ulrich, thought to be mere legend, was marching towards the kingdom, their steps as silent as death itself. As the kingdom prepared for the inevitable siege, King Alderic wrestled with a dire choice. The throne of blood, imbued with dark magic, could command the dead with just a drop of royal blood. To use it meant betraying his vow never to spill blood, yet abstaining could mean the fall of his kingdom. The air was thick with tension, as whispers of fear and courage intertwined, weaving a tapestry of impending doom and defiant hope. The night before the battle, King Alderic stood alone in the throne room, the moon casting ghostly shadows across the ancient stone. His heart heavy with the burden of leadership, he pondered the cost of power and the weight of destiny. The throne loomed behind him, a silent, ominous invitation to embrace a destiny written in blood. As dawn broke, the kingdom of Argent woke to the ominous sound of distant drums. The once bustling streets were now eerily quiet, with only the occasional clatter of armor as soldiers prepared for the approaching undead horde. In the homes and taverns, hushed conversations reflected a mixture of fear and defiance. The citizens of Argent, though accustomed to tales of dark magic and ancient curses, found the reality of an undead army marching upon their land a hard truth to swallow. In the war room, King Alderic convened with his council of lords and mages. Maps sprawled across the table, marked with the undead army's predicted path. General Ilara, a seasoned warrior with a steely gaze, argued for a direct assault, while Archmage Valerian suggested using arcane barriers to slow the enemy's advance. The air was thick with strategy and desperation, as each council vied for the king's favor. Meanwhile, in the depths of the castle, a secret meeting took place. A group of dissenters, led by the ambitious Lord Gareth, plotted to seize the throne of blood for themselves. They believed that only by embracing its dark power could the kingdom be saved, and they were prepared to overthrow the king to ensure their survival. As the undead army drew closer, eerie phenomena began to occur throughout the kingdom. Shadows seemed to move of their own accord, and whispers of the dead echoed in the wind. The people's anxiety grew as the line between legend and reality blurred, fueling rumors that the tyrant Ulric's spirit was behind these hauntings. King Alderic, torn between his moral code and the survival of his kingdom, sought solace in the castle's ancient library. There, amid scrolls and tomes of forgotten lore, he hoped to find an alternative to the throne's cursed power. The weight of his decision pressed upon him like a physical burden, as the fate of Argent hung in the balance. The sun set on the eve of battle, painting the sky with ominous hues of crimson and gold. King Alderic, perched atop the highest tower, surveyed his kingdom. Below, the once vibrant city of Argent was now a fortress bracing for the storm. The air was thick with the scent of impending war, the clanging of steel, the murmur of prayers, and the faint, unnerving silence from the dark woods beyond the city walls. In the underbelly of the castle, Lord Gareth's conspiracy grew in fervor. Whispers of rebellion mixed with the clink of gold as he secured the loyalty of key figures. "The throne demands sacrifice, and we shall answer its call," he declared, his eyes gleaming with ambition and desperation. This clandestine gathering, masked by the chaos above, plotted not just against the undead, but against the throne itself. As night enveloped the kingdom, strange phenomena escalated. Ghostly apparitions roamed the streets, and the dead whispered secrets to the living. The people of Argent, already on edge, found themselves grappling with terrors both physical and spectral. It was as if the veil between worlds had thinned, heralding the approach of tyrant Ulric's undead legion. In the royal chambers, Queen Isolde, a figure of grace under pressure, sought to calm the fears of her people. Her soothing words and acts of kindness provided a glimmer of hope in these dark times. Meanwhile, her own heart was torn, between her husband's plight and the growing dread that the cost of their kingdom's survival might be too great to bear. As the first star appeared in the night sky, a messenger arrived with dire news. The undead army was mere hours away. King Alderic, facing the reality of the impending battle, felt the weight of his crown heavier than ever. The night air was charged with a mix of fear and resolve as the Kingdom of Argent braced for what could be its final dawn. The darkness before dawn enveloped Argent as the undead army, an eerie silhouette against the dim light, appeared on the horizon. Their approach was silent, unnerving, a stark contrast to the clatter of the kingdom's defenses being shored up. King Alderic, atop the battlements, watched the approaching horde, his heart a tumult of fear and resolve. In the throne room, the air crackled with dark energy as Lord Gareth and his cohorts began the forbidden ritual to claim the throne of blood. Their chants echoed through the halls, a sinister melody intertwining with the sounds of battle outside. The throne, reacting to the ritual, pulsed with a malevolent glow, its power growing as the ritual neared its climax. On the battlefield, General Ilara led the charge against the undead. The clash was brutal, with the living fighting desperately against the relentless, emotionless foe. Amidst the chaos, spectral figures appeared, aiding the undead, turning the tide of battle. The living soldiers, grappling with both physical and ghostly adversaries, found themselves pushed to the brink. Queen Isolde, in the royal sanctuary, prayed for the kingdom's salvation. Around her, the wounded and terrified sought refuge, their eyes reflecting the horrors they had witnessed. The queen, though steadfast in her faith, felt a growing sense of despair as the sounds of battle grew closer and the sanctuary became a last haven for the beleaguered defenders. As the first light of dawn crested the horizon, the battle reached a fever pitch. King Alderic, seeing his forces waning, made a fateful decision. He descended from the battlements, heading towards the throne room, his resolve hardened. The time had come to face the dark legacy of the Throne of Blood and embrace the destiny he had long feared. The first rays of dawn illuminated the throne room, where the struggle for the Throne of Blood reached its zenith. King Alderic burst in, just as Lord Gareth completed the ritual. The throne, now alive with dark energy, seemed to beckon the king. In a tense standoff, Gareth implored Alderic to embrace the throne's power, while Alderic faced the ultimate test of his values. Outside, the battle raged on with brutal intensity. General Ilara, amidst the chaos, fought valiantly, her sword cutting through the undead with a grim determination. The soldiers, inspired by her bravery, rallied despite their fear, their cries piercing the morning air. The kingdom's fate hung in balance, each sword stroke a desperate bid for survival. In the throne room, a dramatic confrontation unfolded. King Alderic, with a heavy heart, refused to succumb to the throne's seduction. He condemned the dark ritual, denouncing it as a betrayal of everything the kingdom stood for. In a decisive moment, he destroyed the throne, unleashing a surge of energy that swept through the castle and beyond. The destruction of the Throne of Blood had an immediate effect on the battlefield. The undead, suddenly leaderless and directionless, faltered. The spectral apparitions vanished as quickly as they had appeared, and the tide of battle turned. The kingdom's soldiers, seizing the moment, pushed back the undead horde with renewed vigor. As the sun rose higher, casting its light over the kingdom, the remnants of the undead army retreated into the shadows from whence they came. The Kingdom of Argent, though scarred and weary, had survived. King Alderic, standing amidst the ruins of the throne, vowed to rebuild a kingdom free from the shackles of dark power. A new era of peace and justice dawned, born from the ashes of a night that would forever be remembered in the annals of Argent.